Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment. We're in our back 40 again. We got a special one today. We got the SVL97 with the drop saw on the front. We're going to do a bit of an overview on the 97, then get right to using this drop saw. So stick with us. We'll jump right to it. When talking about an SVL97, some of the key features to know on it are it's 97 horsepower on that engine. It does have a DPF with it. It's all automated. Don't have to really worry about touching buttons or anything. It does what it's supposed to do. After that, you know, some of the key features you want to know on this loader is it has a breakaway force of 8,000 pounds on it, and it's got that vertical lift that's exclusive to Kubota. You know, out front, we're going to be using the hydraulics today. Everybody wants to know what the hydraulic flow is. You're just a little bit over 40 gallons per minute on the high flow, and just over 20 on the low flow. For the particular imprint we have today, we're just going to be on the low flow. It doesn't require that 40 gallons for this particular one. For the drop saw. After that, when talking about the cab, not much to talk about. It's kind of like, pretty much looks like all the other cabs on the skid steers for Kubota. It's nice and spacious, comfortable. It's got your heat and air conditioning. It's radio ready. Even when we're talking about the lights for it, there is an LED option. Strongly recommended if you're going to be using this thing out at night or in low light conditions. And then moving on from the cab kind of idea, you get into these tracks. It is standard with the H pattern. A little bit different than what you're going to see on the SVL65 or 75, but a real nice system, especially if you're going to be using it in the snow. It gives you a little bit more grip, a little bit more surface area there than the standard the tracks you'll see on the other skid steers. So yeah, that's a kind of a quick overview of a SVL97. And the other thing we should also touch base with is this thing weighs a ton. You know, you're going to be about 9,000 pounds on that, I think.
11,000.
11,000, sorry. My mistake, I said 9,000, it's 11,000 pounds. This thing weighs a lot. So if you're looking at towing it, you know, it's, you know, you're going to want that like 9-10 ton float to move it around. So yeah, so let's move on now talking about that drop saw. Out front here we got the drop saw from Baumalight, the DSA530, which means it basically has a nice big saw blade out front here that'll cut up to a 10-inch limb or a 10-inch tree in under 5 seconds. This thing's a beast. It cuts down whatever you want as quickly as it can, kind of idea. So, you know, that saw blade is 30 inches. It's got 15 teeth on it, 3/4 inch steel plating there. So yeah, so it basically cuts through whatever you want as long as you're being careful. And again, that drum actually rotates side to side at 180 degrees, which we're going to be demonstrating with that. So yeah, so that's the big things to know on it. You know, it cuts through 10 inches in under 5 seconds whenever you're at the full 40 gallons. 30-inch saw blade out front with 15 teeth on it, and then it rotates side to side. Some of the features on it that come standard is, you know, you got the brush guard up top here to keep you sort of protected. Again, there's still going to be stuff flying out. Gives you an idea, gives you a little bit of protection there. And then after that, your hydraulic lines, you won't see anything sticking out here. You know, it's all run internally, keeps you nice and keeps all the hydraulic lines away from, you know, getting cut or nicked or anything, because again, with 40 gallons flowing through there, you don't want that. So it's all double braided, well protected in there. And they do have access in there if you need to basically get into one of your lines, or if you maybe have a fitting leaking or something. So yeah, so those are some of the key features on this unit. You know, it cuts fast, cuts hard, and just works. You know, they're pretty simplistic at the end of the day. Again, on front of a skid steer, not as handy as what you would see on front of an excavator, but still works great. And that's what we're going to jump to right now, is demonstrating that out. So. So that brings us to the end of today's demo portion of the video. Again, whenever using that machine, you can see there's some pros and cons to it. It really doesn't like the small stuff. It kind of bounces it or folds it over without actually cutting it. But when it comes to that big either limbs or full trees themselves, it just knocks them down like they're not even there. This machine wasn't even working today. Not that I was at the full extent of it, but it just ate it up like butter. You know, after that, in the machine itself, I'm running it at about half throttle, 3/4, nothing really special on that. You know, I had the air conditioning on because it's about 30 degrees out today, so that's made me nice and comfortable. So yeah, so if you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Thank you.